And now I will use this one, Active Directory Domain Controllers or Domain Services tools that will enable us to create users and computers. But for this lab, we will create only user, and that user will use it on workspace desktop Windows Server to log in with its credential. So I hit install and I wait until installation is finished. So the installation succeeded on our host. I try now to come here and expand this Windows administrative tools. We will find that we have many features here. I will not cover all of them, but the ones that I need is Active Directory user and computers. The sites and service, I will cover them later on in separate video. Here I will come here, this is our domain name. I will expand it. So this folder with this icon on them, it's called the organization units. And this folder that are without icon, call it container. The difference between organization unit and container is that on organization we can apply policies, right? We call it group policies. What are these group policies? For example, in our company, right? We don't want some computers to have connection or edit some settings or edit some network configuration. And the same thing for user. For example, this Abdali user, I don't want him to do some stuffs or create some files or share some files or go to the internet or create something. That is what means by group policy. I will cover all of this in later videos. So what I am going to do now is go to the Abdali OU. OU stand for organization unit, and go to users. So in user we have only one, it is admin, it is the one that we have signed with it. Then here we have this icon that enable us to create new user. So I will create a new user and they call it Abdali. Then the last name, then the same thing here, call it Abdali. And then hit next and password. And user, sorry, I have to uncheck this and check this one. Hit next and finish. And here if I try now, I double click on that user, and for the email I use the username, then our domain, then click on OK. Right, so now if I try come down here and then enable. Then we'll have this one is now it has color. Then we will click on that, and then I will click on add, and here this is our domain, and this is called forest. There is forest and there is the tree. Then I will search here for Abdel, and then this is the user I have created earlier. I will check it and add it here. I will explain you what is the tree and what is the forest. So let us assume that again we have two organizations, right? For example, someone has two organizations, right? And one organization has a domain, call it, for example, abdulali.com, right? And another organization, call it jailmola.com. So what is a forest? A forest is here in this domain. We have domain controllers, right? Two domain controllers, PC1 and DC2, right? And the same thing here. I have two domain controller here for this second organization. But these two organizations belong to the same person, and they have something that is in common between them, right? So why we don't merge the two companies together? So it means if I have users here, right? Sorry. If I have users here, and the same thing with other company, right? And for example, I want to manage this user from this domain controller. And the same thing if I want to manage this user to this control. Manage, I mean by manage is for this user, I want to create group policies. I want to give them permission, what they can do, what they cannot do, right? So for that, I have to create something we call it the trust relationship between the two domains. So this domain can access to these users, and the same thing this domain can access to these users. And there is the subtree. The subtree is from the domain we can have a subdomains that has subdomains, right? For example, first.com, right? So this is called the forest, and this is called the tree. Another thing, we can have another domain controller here and call it second, right? And this two subdomains will have domain controller that is joined to the tree, and here this one we call it the forest, and this one we call it the tree. Right? I hope that is clear for you now, because this is not covered in this scope, but just I want to illustrate you and simplify the things for you.